Good morning, everyone on the Eastern Coast, Eastern Standard Time. It is 1:10 a.m. in the morning, and I will give you a shot of. Uh, Let me see if you can see him. Good morning, Rebel. There's he's sleeping on the side of the bed, and there's Piper. Where's Piper? I can't. There she is. Anyway, I have to. I had to. I have. I've got to come on here this morning. I can't even see myself without my glasses. My eyes are not getting bad. I just have. Oh, let me think. I need to see. I need bigger. Magnifying glasses. That's what I need. Um, I'm coming on here this morning. I don't even know. Let me see if I can see anybody. Private chat. No, I don't want to do that. Let me see. Guest. I don't want to invite a guest. Um, I have to. I don't even. I won't know if I'm getting any comments. I should be. It's been so long since I have been on live stream. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Setting. Let me see. Setting. I know I look like crud this morning. I have been. I see there's no one watching, so that's good. So it will go live maybe in the morning. Maybe you will get notification. Oh, let me see. I did want to put something on here. How do I write? It's been so long. I need to write. Setting. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to do it. I don't want no banners. No, I don't want no banners. I don't want to ticket. I don't want any of that. I just want to be able. PayPal address. Let me put that up there. Okay. All right. Um, I don't even think I have a title. That's how bad it is. I just hope it goes to YouTube. That's how long it's been since I've been on it. I tried to download one that I just talked and I didn't show myself, but I feel like I need to show myself worthy because I am asking for help from the YouTube channel. I have not asked for help for myself, in which it's not for myself, it is for my son and his family. As you have, okay, I see a comment. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if I can, I just don't know. What I'm saying is, I'm asking for my family, Jason, my son. Um, if you go back, if you've watched my YouTube channels and you have been with me, you have been watching from the very beginning to where we had started the land. Um, it has been a year ago that my husband passed away, August the 28th. Um, August the 29th of this year, um, they admitted my son, who had the land and who has got their home and now they're living in it, into the emergency room, into the COVID um, unit. He has tested positive for COVID. And I'm asking for prayers for the most thing. Um, he stayed there, I think, about a week on that floor. And as he did, we could not go in. I had my phone, Jason had his, and I was on speakerphone with him most of the time, unless he would say, "Mom, I'll call you back," or Jason could not breathe. He had pneumonia. It got to the point that he would call me at 5 o'clock in the morning. Um, he had had a bad night with a nurse. The nurse, he had to use the urinal, and I'm telling y'all guys, this has been hell on earth for me. But I know that God has Jason in the palm of his hand. But for your son to be on speakerphone and say, I said to him, call the nurse, and he said, they get mad. Well, I said, what do you mean they get mad? And he said, well, they do if you call them. And I said, well, I'll take care of that. Hold on a minute. Because, oops, yeah, that's Blandine. She dropped it. But I'm going to tell you, um, I made a phone call to the nurse's station and I asked for his nurse and I let her know what I thought. I let her know, and she's like, well, you don't know what we've been through all night, Leah. Well, they're trying to put the oxygen. Of course, they have the oxygen in his nose. They're trying to put this full face mask on him. And as soon as you walk into this hospital and you walk onto this floor, they tell you step by step that this is what's going to happen. And then they mention the ventilator. Okay. And they mentioned the ventilator. So what does that do? That places fear. And they not only done it to Jason, they done it to a young man that I know named Dylan. He's 22 years old. He um, he went into the hospital like a week later. They did it to him. He was scared to death. Um, because they scare you. They think that you're going to be on the ventilator. And what do they say when you get on the ventilator? You die from COVID. Um, so, as I am on the phone with her, she is very rude to me. And I told her that she had better go to his room or he was going to pee in the floor. And that it's a shame that he doesn't want to call the nurse because he's afraid that they will get mad at him. Okay, this is how they're treating these COVID patients when they go into the hospital. People, I just want y'all to be aware. If you are, if you have a person that has COVID and they go in the hospital and you cannot be there with them, then you need to be on the phone with them. I was on the phone with my son day and night if he needed me. I mean, that day that he told me that he had problems with that nurse, um, I stayed on the phone. That was like 5:30 in the morning. He called me, and I was on speakerphone, and he was on speakerphone. Thank you, Joseph. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad that you're here. And I just want to say that these things are happening in the hospital. I don't want to get taken down. I don't want this video to be taken down. But they're happening, and you don't know they're happening. Um, and it's not everybody because he has the best nurse in the world. For 7 days, he ended up going into intensive care. He ended up being ventilated. He's on the ventilator right now. Um, he would call me and he would like, Mom, I can't breathe. and it was so much anxiety of them putting him through the fear of not only having pneumonia, but then the anxiety caused things, and it just he was under anxiety anyway. It was one day to the year that his father had passed away, and he was dealing with grieving from that to start with, and then he comes down with COVID, where he had been in with one of his employees for 12 hours that day or the week, and he caught that from him. Um, Now, I just want to inform you that hi Gary, how are you doing? I appreciate your prayers. If you have anyone that goes into the hospital and you cannot be there with them, they are scared, laying there by themselves, not knowing what to do, being on oxygen. The hospitals are telling them that they have steps, that they're steps, and every time someone will come into his room, because he had his phone on, I had mine on, and I could hear them say, and I would hear him say, "What's the next step? What's the next step?" Because the next step they made that step of being on the vent. So and the whole time, the day that the nurse was rude to him, I did call the nurse's station and I talked to her. My sister ended up calling the administration office because she had been there for 5 years before, um, and she knew the people. And even after that, even after Dylan or Garland, or I mean there is, or William, or um, I'm just calling names because that is who is in the hospital that we know, and we do not know how they are being treated by maybe one nurse, because maybe she can't handle it. I don't know. But then when he gets into intensive care, um, and then he has angels for nurses. I mean, angels, praying nurses. They pray at home. I mean, it is, the one nurse has been there since COVID hit Virginia and in the hospital. Well, anyway, I didn't get the title. I don't think I did get the title. I don't know if I did or not. But I'm asking for help. And I have never asked for help before. As long as I have been on YouTube, I have tried to help people. But my son is not working. My daughter-in-law has to take FMLA because the hospital, for one thing, she has 2 kids. They have 2 kids. They have Megan, who's 19. She's in college, at home, back and forth. Um, and then they have Chase. He's 16 years old. And he has stepped up to the plate. He's trying to do everything that his daddy would have done. He's out sawing wood for the winter for the wood stove. They just bought a brand new house. If y'all go back and look at my videos, you will see step by step. It took them almost a year to get it done. We had the land surveyed before my husband passed away, and everything was done before my husband passed away. But someone in his job had started a GoFundMe fund, which I'm thankful for that. But as we know, a GoFundMe fund takes, I think, $30 out of 100. Like if somebody donates to that fund, then GoFundMe gets $30 of that, and that doesn't go to the family. I hate to ask, but if there's anybody, and if God leads you that way, you can donate to my PayPal address, and I have it up there. It is justoserv@gmail.com. My daughter-in-law will not be getting a check. She will be getting on FMLA. My son will be getting a check, as far as I know, once a week. It will just be 40 hours. But of course, he was doing overtime all the time. So, and I'm not saying, I mean, a lot of us base our income on overtime, and, we're not supposed to do that. But you get caught up in it. You instead of saving your overtime money, you kind of start living on your overtime money. Her plan is that, she's not going to make her car payment. If they come and get her car, then that's fine, because we have my husband's truck that she can drive as transportation. The main thing is that they need their house payment paid, they need their light bills paid, and they need their water bill paid, and their cell phone. And with what Jason gets, that is not going to take it. Like I said, they have a GoFundMe, and then Amanda has. I was going to try to paste it to this. I don't know if I can or not. Let me see. Maybe I can. I don't know. I can't. Maybe when this goes live, in the comments, I will paste Jason's PayPal account. But as far as right now, if anybody wants to donate, and if you don't, and you can't, I understand. But I'm asking for help. And I know that God is going to supply their needs. I know that God is going to bring my son out of this pneumonia. He's going to heal his lungs. The main thing was that his oxygen level was not staying up. That was their concern. We went in and we talked to the doctor. Like, you have to have a doctor talk. And we went in with God, with God on our side. I truly believe that if we had went in there and we did not have God in our lives, that he would not be alive today. And I'm being honest, because he mentioned, because my son is obese and he knows it. And, if you're in depression, or if you're being condemned for so many years, maybe for something you did when you were younger, it causes a lot of things in your life. And I'm not going into that detail. Like I said, I'm just asking for help. I don't, like I said, if you don't feel led by God to do it, or if you don't feel led, then I understand tremendously. I understand. Um, I'm just going to give you an update. Um, the doctor called us in and told us that they were doing everything they could. They had his oxygen, and then they, of course, they had the other thing that was pushing his lungs to stay open. And if they pushed them, they couldn't push them anymore because that would cause his lungs to burst. Okay. So, what does that tell you? Then, of course, the doctor would say things like that. And I would speak up and say, well, I have faith in God and I believe in Jesus and I am a Christian and I know I have peace in my heart that God's going to heal Jason. So he would say, I hope he does. I hope he does. And he said, but, we had two obese young men in the past week or so that didn't make it. And I'm thinking later on, what if they didn't go in there, or the parents or whoever, and the doctor told them what they told us and they accepted it, and they didn't, they just, well, if his oxygen dropped, then because if your oxygen drops, your heart's gonna fail, and then you're gonna go into cardiac arrest. And that's what we were told. And I told them that his oxygen was not going to drop and that was not going to happen. And then of course, he was like, well, I hope you are going to see your miracle. I don't pray all the time, but I do have hope. And I hope that I do see this miracle. And he was a very, I mean, I had a good spirit about him. Whenever he would say something, I wasn't rude to him or anything. I would just tell him, we want you to do everything you can to um, get my son better. And he said my son was a very sick man and he was doing everything that he could. Okay, so he was doing everything he could, but the next day after we talked to him, they called and said that they did an x-ray and Jason had two infections. So they started him on two antibiotics. So to me, that was a step, a good thing. So maybe, by us going in there and asking him to please do whatever, instead of accepting the fact that, you know if his lungs, I mean, if his oxygen didn't stay up, then they was just let it go down and do whatever. But no, we was not accepting that in Jesus name. And thank you, Gary. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you. I just right now I cannot even down make a comment. I'm just going to say thank you um, for praying for my son. Um, if anybody can get this out to the prayer warriors, I'm calling mainly on prayer warriors. There are improvements. Um, Once they started him on the antibiotics, now today they called and they're doing dialysis. So that's another step um, for his kidneys. And of course, everything they do, they have to tell you that there is that something could happen. And we just don't, I'm not getting the report, his wife is. But I'm not. And then, of course, She has been strong through this. She has been leaning on Jesus. Her daughter, Megan, my granddaughter, has been faithful. We did get to go in to see Jason when we got to talk to the doctor. And I just told Amanda, you know what? We went in, we talked to him, and he said that these things aren't happening. And listen to the word I say, these things aren't happening, but they could. So I said, okay, by us having to go in to see the doctor, we got to see Jason before we saw the doctor, and then we went back in and saw Jason after we saw the doctor. So we got to touch him, we got to talk to him in his ear. I got to FaceTime Megan so that she could talk to him. I think the plan is that Megan and Amanda, and I think Amanda's going to try to push it that Chase can go in also. He's 16. I don't see why he can't go in and see his dad. Um, Jason is comatose. He's asleep. Uh, I do know that he can hear. I know Amanda touched him with her bare hands, and his heart rate went up. We thought it was his oxygen, but it was his heart rate. And they were saying, that, when they tried to move him or he was on a rotating bed, that his heart, they was concerned about his heart. Well, when Amanda, would reach over and touch him, the bed would move, and I would be going, oh, don't do that. But, it didn't. But when she touched him, his heart rate went up to 90. And I made a joke out about it. I'm like, Amanda, look what you did. Look what you did to your husband. But there is so many people praying and so many people fasting for my son. And not only my son, but there is a minister in the hospital. There is a lady minister in the hospital that they're trying to take off of the vent and put a trach in so that she can, because the vent was kind of making something here inside of her sore. So they're wanting to put a trach in. And hopefully tomorrow she will be off of that. And she was on the ventilator for 3 weeks. So I'm just calling out to you guys. Like I said, I have not said anything to anyone. I have not, as far as making a post about what's going on. I have peace, but I just didn't want it out there. I don't want any negativity spoke over my son. If you are Christians and you're prayer warriors, you will understand what I'm saying. Um, and if it is, it will just drop to the ground. Um, they had a prayer meeting today. They prayed for Amanda. They said that because of Amanda and Jason, in the Bible, when you get married, you become one. So they did pray for her, and because of her, Jason was in the hospital, but still. And Megan was she didn't, there's things that she's like, oh, mama, and I know what kind of prayer meeting it was, because we're right now, we're used to going to a prayer meeting that you just kneel down and you pray, and I mean, I grew up in the Holy Ghost fire, brimstone, praying out loud, speaking in the Holy Ghost. So I know what it is. So when they went today and the prayer meeting was like that, they had praise and worship, but she said they were. So I knew what they were going to get, and I knew that's an experience that she needs, and not only her. And I'm going to preach a little bit. We, as Christians, if you are not using your language to talk to God and let the Spirit of God move in you, then you need to start, because if all of this virus, and it is real, I know it's real, but, and then now they're making everyone, tonight, the president is saying, oh, no, not the president, let's say, making you take the poke. And if you don't want to take the poke, then you might not have a job, or you might be tested. And who do we know? How do we know what's on the thing if they stick it up your nose? I'm just telling you, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. I'm just telling you, and I will not take the poke. My family will not take it. Uh, we won't. We will not. I don't trust it. I don't know what's in it. Um, I know I do. I do take the flu shot, and I didn't take that until actually when I went to work at McKee, and ever since then I've taken it every year. Um, but this here is something different. To me, this is something different. This is something that's trying to um, mm, control how many people that might be in the world. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't. I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. Um, it's your response. It is everyone's. Everyone's. It's your choice. You take it. That's fine. I love you. I don't care. I love you who you are. But don't judge me if I don't take it. And but anyway, like I said, I'm asking for help. And once this comes up on YouTube, I will post Jason's um, PayPal account. And if you want to donate to friends and family, I would appreciate it. Or you can just send it to me, and my PayPal address is, and it's Justoserv. Be very careful as far as just pay attention to the spelling. Justoserv, and that's my name. I chose that, and my real name is Blandine, if you don't know me, and I have not been on this channel before. I haven't been on YouTube for a long time, but if you subscribe to me, I would love to have you subscribe, because I'm going to get up out of here and I'm going to start being on YouTube. I do have things to sell. I am a reseller, but I do study the Bible. I have Bible studies, and I just have to do what God wants me to do. I think what happened was I tried to do it every day, and I could not do it consistently at the same time, because of things that happen in your life. So, I may just have a Bible study once a week, and then start reselling my jewelry again, maybe once or twice a week, maybe during the daytime, or even late at night when the California people are awake, and all that stuff. But anyway, like I said, I am asking for your help as a community. If you, I know there's been separations. Uh, I don't feel like I don't get into that situation. If you choose to help, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine also. My main concern is, because God is going to supply the needs to make sure that they keep their brand new home that they just bought, and that their light bills will be paid, and that their phone bill will be paid and their water bill will be paid. As far as everything, they have, I think, one loan payment and their car payment. And you know what? They can come get the car. It doesn't matter because, we have a truck that is paid for and she can drive that. So I'm just being honest with you people. I want you guys to know that I am honest and I am just not telling you this, and I wouldn't be on here asking if I did not know there's a need, because um, there's his paycheck is not coming in, and also her paycheck's not coming in. Um, he does get, I think, 40 hours a week for right now. I don't know how long that will be. That may be because of the virus that he has. I really don't know. But like I said, there's extra money that he always made for overtime. But with her taking FMLA, because the hospital calls, the doctor had to call her today about Jason going on dialysis because of something going on with his kidneys. And then it wasn't like later the nurse called to get permission for that. So it's like, there's no way this woman can work. She needs to be home with her two children to and she don't get paid for taking FMLA. So um, let the Lord lead you how you want to be led, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And I want y'all to know that I love y'all. I miss talking to y'all. I miss being on YouTube. I really do. I really do. I just don't have the time right now because I am trying to get my bedroom. If you go and look at my videos, there we're getting ready to lay tile. I had to put it off for 3 weeks because of Jason having COVID, and then my brother-in-law is in his 70s, and he's been helping me do it. Now we're getting ready. We're getting ready to lay the stick tile um, on the floor, and then we can get a hospital bed for Tammy, and we can move her into that room. And then I have my living room. I have a wall to tear down because we put it up to make a bedroom. My house has been open to anyone that needed a place to live because that's the way I was brought up. And this is just Blandine. This is just Blandine. So I'm going to end this, and please don't feel obligated. I'm just saying, please don't feel obligated. But I feel like that I have enough friends at YouTube, and I'm not asking for money. I just want you to know what is going on in my life, and that I'm asking for prayer warriors to lift up my son, lift up my daughter-in-law, lift up my two grandchildren, and lift me up and everybody around me. I have my brother is here from Indiana. He's been here for 3 days, and I can't even down hardly visit with him. I've got to get myself together. Please pray that I can get myself together and go tomorrow. If I can go tomorrow and pull the tape off of that bedroom, I've got to pull the tape off where my brother-in-law taped it so that he can at least see that I did something. I can't just sit here. I've got to do something. I sent a radio there today. They're going to start. Uh, the doctor said that he could have a radio in his room to play praise and worship music, and let him hear the word of God, or just something. He has to hear something he has to hear. And I believe in my heart that he can hear. Um, So as far as that's all the news I have, and I will keep you up to date. I will keep you up to date and let you know what's going on and how God is moving, because every time something happens, um, I just know it's God. I just know it because I get a confirmation. But people that understand, I know you understand, and ones that don't, I pray that you ask God for understanding. Ask God for wisdom and knowledge. Read the book of Proverbs. Read the book of Psalms. Um, and very much the book of Proverbs will give wisdom and understanding. And I have learned so much. I was studying the book of Revelation before all this stuff happened, and you know, we're Christians. You know, the Bible told us that we would suffer and go through trials and tribulations just like the world. Just because I'm a Christian and believe in Jesus doesn't mean things are not going to happen. And I just have to have faith in Him, and I do. And I have hope, and I believe that He's going. I know my son is going to come out of this, and he's going to live and not die. And that's my last comment. God bless y'all. Hi, David. It's good to see you. I'm just getting ready to close. Thank you for coming. Um, if you're not subscribed to me, you guys, subscribe. Um, I haven't pushed my channel, but maybe I need to start pushing it a little bit and trying to get more subscribers and become more friends. Um, you know, if I just talk to somebody besides my dogs. I have my boys and they're all busy, and um, I don't know. I enjoy. And I do have a prayer. I will pray. And Joseph, um, yes, Proverbs is a great book. It is for wisdom and knowledge. And, we need knowledge. And, we have to depend on the doctor. The last thing that one of the doctors said to Amanda was, I'm going to do the best that I can to keep your husband healthy, and you do what you can do by, hey Jane, honey, how are you doing? I know you're praying. I know. Deb, how are you doing, honey? I'm so glad. I mean, it's so late, but yet y'all have come on. And I just know that God gives the doctor wisdom, and it was just another, Lord have mercy, another confirmation. I was watching. I've never watched that movie, Paul the Apostle, and I watched it today, and I was sitting there with my brother, and he's like, look what he did. And the young girl that was dying in that movie, and Paul took, and they called for Luke, Matthew, Mark. Yeah, Luke was the physician, and had been going in and out of the prison to talk to Paul and to write down things that Paul had told him to write down. And and the man actually called him in and asked him to help for his daughter, and he took it and he said, give me your knife, and I have to insert it into your daughter, so she will, or if you don't, she will die. And she had fluid on her lungs, and he's inserted into her, and the girl was, alive, but he poked it into her body, and and the fluid would come out, and then he told him, to go to and told him where the Christians were hiding. And he went and begged and asked them to give medicine and did. And he still, although Luke cured, his daughter, he still had the Christians killed. And then at the end, he took and cut off uh, Paul's head. And at the end of the movie, and but when he's inserted that knife into that girl's side and into the lung to where, because that's where Jason's sickness is, his lung. I'm just going to tell you, I felt the Spirit of God all over me. And to me, it was just another confirmation that God's got this. God's got this. And the only reason I'm doing this video is to let you know, prayer warriors, pray, 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 pray. There's people all over the world praying and fasting. There's not only my son, but there is we are praying and fasting for the whole Augusta Medical Center in Virginia for the COVID patients that they put them in a room and they tell them step by step what's going to happen, plant fear in their heart, and make them think what the next step is the ventilator. And then they don't give them any hope to live. And I have seen this with not only my son, but with other people that we know that are in there. We have people that are sitting outside the hospital day and night and praying. And, like the doctor said, well, you can pray at home. Yeah, I know I want to pray at home, but I want to be outside. We've put a number up inside his room so people would know where he was. And there's people that we don't even now know that are going to the hospital. They may be there now, 2:00 in the morning. There's been videos on Facebook. The Lord told me to go to the hospital and pray. So I know. And you know what? And I'm just going to say that. Hey, Don. I'm just asking. My son is in. You'll have to go back and watch it. He is on a ventilator with COVID pneumonia, and it's been 3 weeks. There's no income coming in for his family, and I'm just asking for help. I'm going to post his PayPal. And then my PayPal is my address. If anybody wants to donate any money, or if anybody wants to do anything, I have not asked anyone, and it is so hard for me to ask. But, and I know God's going to provide. If you can give $1, just send it to friends and family. Just friends and family. And if you can just donate $1, then that would help. And it's only going to be the their house payment, their electric bill, their water bill, and their phone bill, just to keep them going. Tonight someone just pulled up in the driveway and just left groceries on their doorstep. So I know God's going to, I know God. Hey, Shayla, I just, yeah, I don't want, I, I don't want any negative vibes. And if you understand, please understand what I'm meaning. We have to be positive. Um, and I just, and it's, yeah, it is sorry. And we went in to see him, and yeah, I do lay here at night and cry for my son. But God has him in his hand. There is nothing that I can do but pray for my son's life. And I believe that God's healing him. And um, I'm calling out for prayer warriors to continue to pray. I will keep you updated. Um, this has been going on for 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks. And I just have not been able to come on YouTube and say anything about it. And like I said, the worst part about it is my husband had passed away a year the 28th, and my son was admitted into the hospital the 29th, the day after. And that was on his mind. That was so much on his mind. Um, I will put the link. I know. I was gonna. I see. I can't make any comments because I'm on my phone. But when I get off of here, I will put the link. Like I said, yeah, my yeah. If you just become a subscriber, my PayPal address, if you want to send it to me, is justoserv@gmail.com, and just pay attention to the way it's spelled, because I have dropped some like E's, like, and they will get that. They will get that. I promise you, they will get that. And then when I go offline and finish this video, I will post his PayPal address in case, if somebody wants to send it to them personally, or you can send it to me. Either way, I'm not selling any jewelry. I'm not doing anything. Just send it to friends and family. And like I said, $1, anything. I mean, and if you don't, that's okay. I understand, because it's a tough time in this world today. And I have never asked anyone for help. I don't like to ask people for help, but I know I have friends on YouTube. I know I have people that care for me, and because I care for them, I care for y'all, and y'all know that. Um, we don't see each other. We don't know each other personally only through the internet. And so anyway, I'm gonna close. And like I said, if you my PayPal information is up at night. If you can see that. If not, I will, like, once it posts to YouTube, I will write both of them down as in the maybe I can go back and edit the description or something. I may have done that. I can't remember, because I didn't go live, and I tried to upload one and it didn't do it, and I've been having trouble all night. And I've just been sitting here trying to figure out, what to do, what not to do. But his job did take and start a GoFundMe fund, but they take almost 30% out of the money, and um, unless, I think, if you put like zero on like a tip or something, they don't take as much. Anyway, it doesn't matter. God's going to provide. He's going to use. I mean, He's never let us down. So I love you guys, and I am going to. I'm going to say good night. Y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see y'all in a couple days. I will keep you up to date, I promise. I will keep you up to date, and we're going to see a miracle. We're going to see a miracle. And so, y'all have a blessed night, and thank y'all so much for everything you do. Yeah, GoFundMe is lame. It is no good. It takes your money, takes the money that people give, and sometimes people, I mean, the lady that done it, she just started it, and didn't realize. But it's okay. It's okay. She had a good heart, and she was just doing it. She works for Jason, you know, and she just did it out of the goodness of her heart. Um, Hi, Lewis. It's good to see you. Um, Thank you so much. And thank you. Give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I do want to try to build my channel some. If I have to put Rebel on there, he is a mess. He's been my soulmate. He's been the best dog in the world. I'll go somewhere, and even, it's funny, animals. I'll be somewhere and I'll start to pray, then I'll start to cry, and then they come over and they look at you, and they'll lick your legs, and they know that something is wrong. I love you, Dawn. You know I love you, honey. And I love everyone, and thank you for everything, everybody. Um, and like I said, if I don't reach out, if I don't answer phones, or if anybody tries to contact me, there's a lot going on right now, and I try to get back to people. There's so many messages and contacts, and not emails, but like um, it's just, I just can't respond to everything right now, and yeah, dogs are the best. Okay, good night, everyone, and y'all have a blessed night, and I will see y'all in a day or two to update you. I love you. I love you, Dawn. I love you, everybody. Deb, everyone. Jane, I love you, sweetie. And thank you guys for popping in and giving me a thumbs up. And like I said, if anybody sees this video, um, I I went to another video I was watching today. I found another lady, and she is she's on oxygen, and she does have COVID pneumonia, and so y'all just remember her, but remember all of the people. Please pray warriors. I know y'all are praying, and just thank you so much. You don't know what happens until it hits home. So anyway, thank you so much, Lewis. Um, and I'm just gonna end right now. Okay. So good night.